Welcome to Pike Rose. This is probably the hottest, most active property in all of Montgomery County. And if you come to this channel, you know we're all about all the great things that are happening in Montgomery County, the most exciting DC suburb. No offense to Northern Virginia. Okay, so I want you to know that there is a farmer's market that happens here on Saturdays, and they run pretty long. It's going to be next to the Pinstripes bar and grill facility, which is also a bowling spot. Really nice spot there. There's a lot going on at Pike Rose. It's always super busy. As you can see, we wanted to come over here when it was a bit more quiet, just so that you could get a feel for what it's going to be like. And as we're walking here, you can see that it's a very expansive setup here. What we're coming up on now is what's called Bark and Social. You're gonna love this. If you have any of those beloved four-legged family members, you're definitely gonna wanna check this out. There's so much lush greenery here. What you see, that's Pinstripes, so the farmer's market is gonna be just here next to Pinstripes, okay? Pinstripes is an exceptional bowling facility. Honestly, they have quite a few different activities that you can do here, but bowling is the main one. Obviously, that's why it's called Pinstripes. So tons of parking here, okay? I mean, tons of parking. This is just one of many parking lots here. I've never come here and not been able to find somewhere to park. A lot of these areas are the first 2 hours are free, and then, you gotta pay. Right there is Canopy. There's Canopy, and then over top of Canopy is a wonderful hotel, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Canopy is mixed with some residential units, so we'll get to that in a moment, but I did want to bring your attention as we walk past all of this lush greenery, and this stuff is just coming in really nicely. Even though it's August now, this stuff is really healthy, and they seem to do a pretty good job maintaining it, watering and cutting. So this is Bark Social. Now, what is Bark Social? So this is an area, as you can see, that's a dog drinking a cup of water right there, okay? So Bark Social is where you and your friend can hang out, socialize with other dogs and dog owners. They have a Pupstagram wall, as you can see there on the right, and that's where you can take pictures of your furry buddy. This is the entrance to Bark Social. So once you go in here, they have beer. You heard that right. They have beer. You can hang out and get you a beverage. Look, there's a beer tasting that you just missed on August 3rd. There's going to be trivia on the 29th. They have all kinds of things going on here. Your dog must be registered online. There are some rules. There's a lot of rules, as a matter of fact. We won't cover them. You see they got TVs there, so you can hang out, maybe watch a game or something like that. I think that's ESPN that they have going on right there. They have a merchandise shop. This is the area where you check in. And if you don't have a pup, you can still come and hang out, okay? Sometimes I think they've been known to show movies over here. And this is a parking lot, a huge multi-story parking lot right beside there. So you and your pet don't have to get too antsy and worry about having a long walk before you can get to the festivities. So you can park right there and then walk right over to Bark Social. Next thing we have at Pike Rose is going to be the Rose Park, okay? So Rose Park, this is a sweet area where you can just hang out, enjoy some of the treats that we have all within Pike Rose. You see there's lots of nice benches right there. You can catch some sun if you need a break from Bark Social or shopping, and you can sit right here. And then of course they have this green area sandwiched in between all of these lovely restaurants. They have seating here, benches, kids, families, everybody's hanging out on the weekends. It's really a blast. I mean, it's exceptional. Now, when you see these outdoor heaters right here, that's because we're coming up on a spot that is extremely popular in here, and this is called Jinya. This is a ramen bar. So if you're looking for a good place to get some ramen, you've come to the right place. Now, at Jinya, you can sit indoors or you can sit out here. That is heated, that table right there, and that's covered, okay? So if you want to sit out here, when it starts to get a little nippy, you're welcome to do that and enjoy your meal. And then, hold on to your socks here, the Baked Bear. All these chairs right here, all this seating area is for the mighty, mighty Baked Bear. Well, Cedric, what is the Baked Bear? The Baked Bear is an ice cream sandwich facility. I know I'm making it sound serious, and that's because it is. You see the steps right here? So they have all these steps that you take to customize your ice cream sandwich. Do you see those finished products right there? Good Lord. I don't think I can properly tell you how amazing this is. They don't let you walk in right now. They stopped doing that for some reason. You used to be able to walk in and then go around to the counter, but now it's literally a line out the window because you have to order from the outside. But there's always a line, okay? Next to that is going to be LL Bean. That's a huge multi-story facility. If you're familiar with the brand, then you know what LL Bean does. Not lots of outdoor gear and things of that nature. Really great stuff. And then we have many other things across the street, which we'll get to in a moment. But LL Bean is going to be an anchor on the end of this block. So they have a good amount of space here, and customer service is fantastic. You know, it's an existing brand. It's been around for a long time. Only good things to say about LL Bean. So across the street from LL Bean, we have yet again more wonderful, wonderful restaurants. And before we get to that, I just want to show you what's at the end here. There's a Porsche dealership. That's right. So Pike Rose, North Bethesda, there's a Porsche dealership right here. And there you go. You see he's going in there. It's pretty impressive, I got to tell you. I've been in there. So if you're in the market, maybe stop by there. And if the salespeople are giving you too much guff or you get tired of them, over here and make yourself an ice cream sandwich and then decide whether or not you want to continue. And then next to that is going to be a little bit of office space, but this is a 999 Rose. That's some office space there. But more importantly is Molina. Now, I don't work for Molina, but I will tell you that they have a mighty fine set of roasted potatoes there, and they have this pancake dish with like an orange zest. It's extremely impressive. You heard it here first. If you're looking for quality brunch, you should probably check out Molina. And then behind Molina is going to be Lens Crafters, a brand new Lens Crafters retail facility. And then if you go to the left of Lens Crafters, that's where you're going to find the Porsche dealership. Across the street here, we have a huge anchor, an REI co-op store. Now, if you know what REI does, then I don't really need to say anything. Pretty much anything that you can think of that is related to the outdoors in terms of equipment. They got lots of bikes in there. They probably have skateboards. I'm sure they have, all kinds of stuff. I bought helmets and things from there before. They have all the fitness watches. It's huge, to say the least. So we come back down here away from the REI facility. As you can see, REI is right across the street from LL Bean. So whatever you couldn't find at LL Bean, you just check with REI and vice versa. And maybe get yourself one of those REI memberships so you can save some money and get you some nice cash back. I know I do that about once a year. So across from Porsche, LL Bean, and Molina is all this wonderful stuff to eat, to drink, and to sleep. So the hotel is across from here. This is Canopy that we have coming up here. And Canopy is something, I'll tell you about that in a moment. I don't know if you're familiar with Nando's Peri Peri Chicken. It's pretty good. A little pricey in my eyes, but it's pretty good. Laser Away is going to be a facility where you can get some work done, if you know what I mean. Check that out on your own time. That's in the health and beauty space. And then also the Priya, I think we're pronouncing that properly, salon, which is attached to Canopy. So let's talk about Canopy. When I went to London last year, I stayed at a Canopy hotel for the first time. What a treat. I would call it a boutique, a very chic, classy in its own way, just a very well thought out hotel establishment. Now, I haven't stayed at this one in Pike and Rose, but the brand is known for being very thoughtful and just overall something to write home about. So I absolutely loved the Canopy in London. And I think if you're visiting the area to think about moving over here, then you should definitely consider staying at the Canopy. Speaking of which, please make sure to like and share if this is helpful, if you're enjoying this video. I do sell real estate in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and we would love to help you out with any questions that you have. So this is the other end of the Julie restaurant here. Okay. The Julie restaurant is across from the other end of Rose Park here. And what is Julie? Julie is a restaurant that I believe is also in the Molina family. Julie has quality hamburger, if you can believe it or not. But that's not really what they specialize in. I think it's some fancy Greek stuff, quality, very good fish. They also have a great potato, now that I think about it. Yeah, Julie has good dishes, and people always love the drinks. Across from Julie is going to be West Elm. Now, when you want to get something done and you want to furnish your home, what better can you think of than West Elm? This really just, as an anchor here, just speaks to how impressive everything is that is going on at Pike and Rose. Next to West Elm is Pinstripes. So, Pinstripes, they have a huge bar on the main level. And when you walk upstairs, there's some more areas for eating and dining, and then they have all of the bowling and the other activities up there. They have some waterfalls out here, a little water feature out here if you just want to hang out while you're waiting for your table or waiting for your bowling appointment to begin. In addition to that, if you happen to catch them on the weekends, they have the brunch, which I think is up here on this rooftop area. The brunch is not bad. They run brunch specials on Saturday and Sunday. You can hang out there, you can catch some sun. As a matter of fact, I think I can give you a little bit more information about those brunch specials in just a moment. But this is Pinstripes. It's been here pretty much since Pike and Rose opened. I think, if I recall correctly, back in 2014, I think this was here when Pike and Rose opened. So just so that you know, Pike and Rose, this is a mixed-use development in North Bethesda, right? So that's the portion of North Bethesda. All this stuff is North Bethesda. And this is directly across the street from a metro station. So you don't even really need a car if you want to live near this area. And like I said earlier, Pike and Rose, they started the first phase in 2014. So West Elm is going to anchor most of this side of the street. And as we walk through here, you just see that any and everything you could want to furnish your home is going to be here. And of course they deliver, and you can order online and pick up and all that good stuff. But Pike and Rose has, so far, as far as I know, nearly 900 residential units, obviously the hotel that we talked about, and believe it or not, around 300,000 square feet of Class A office space. We're going to get to some of the other amazing features that we have going on at Pike and Rose, but this is the same developer that did Bethesda Road, which I'll tell you about at another point. The Block Food Hall. So food courts are now food halls, and inside of here, if you're looking for ramen but you don't want to do a sit down thing and pay the price for that full service, if you're looking for bubble tea, okay, if you're looking for mochi, if you're looking for sushi, if you're just looking for quick bites that are super tasty, maybe even some Korean fried chicken or something like that, you're going to want to come to the Block. When they're open, you can sit outside of here. You see they got a little cabana kind of a setup here, a little canopy kind of deal, and you can chill out here, maybe hit this bike path if you want to. But people love the Block. It's one of the best places that you can come to get really tasty food to go. So check out the Block. Maybe you want a matcha tea. I don't know, but I think the Block has you covered, okay? And as you look across the street here, that's more parking right there. Again, no shortage of parking over here. And this is one of the ends of Pike and Rose. So Pike and Rose is pretty much self-contained within a couple of blocks here. And as you come in, everything is going to be on the inside of those blocks. So that's where you do most of your walking, on the inside. As you can see, we come from the street and then we walk in. And then once we walk inside, we can go to the left, we can go straight, we can go to the right. And all of the goodies are going to be contained within there. So a little known fact about Pike and Rose. This development is named after two of the roads that border it, which are going to be Rockville Pike, which is straight ahead, and Montrose Parkway, which we just came from. So this is just a cute little thing that they decided to do, Pike and Rose. And when you think about how they came up with the name, super simple, but extremely catchy. Everybody knows Pike and Rose, and it's become quite a hit. Honestly, I wish they had more room to add more restaurants and things because they're doing really well. And a lot of this stuff is open kind of late, so you can grab a bite or hang out and really enjoy yourself when you're in Montgomery County. I think if you want to be closer to DC, this is one of the best places to be. So I mentioned more info on that brunch. You see that? $25 at Pinstripes. Bottomless drinks, mimosas, aperitifs, or whatever they call them. You can get all of that. $25. I recommend it. You should check out Pinstripes. So across the street from West Elm on that same block where the Canopy is the Blue Mercury. And I think they sell makeup and some other goodies like that, some products that one might want to use, salon relative stuff. On this other corner is going to be Nada. And Nada is going to be, they have tacos and burritos and quesadillas and stuff like that. And they're very well priced. So if you're looking for a bite and you don't want to spend a lot of money, check them out. Scout and Molly's, I think they're clothing consignor. I've never been there. Sephora, established well-known brand, which is in line with what you see here, makeup, beauty, perfume, things of that nature, all the goodies. Now, next to there, speaking of goodies, are you familiar with Sur La Table? Sur La Table is an alternative to Williams-Sonoma. But Sur La Table, they specialize in education along with just selling you. They don't just sell you items that you can use to get things done inside of your home. Sur La Table has cooking classes, okay? They have a lot of things for folks that are looking to up their game in the kitchen. And across from there, you got BurgerFi, pretty good burgers. Sweet Green, if you want to keep it healthy. The Sunday Morning Bakehouse seems very popular. I've heard that the muffins and croissants are extremely good. Then there's the Dry Bar. That's where you get your hair done, okay? And across from there is going to be Unique Low. But I just want you to know that Sur La Table, their thing is we want to get you familiar with the art of cooking. So you should absolutely, when you get here, you should check out Sur La Table, check out their website, and come in and see some of the unique gift offerings that they have. You can sit down and meet with chefs and, talk to them about things that you can do to improve upon your culinary skills. And from here, we have an entrance to one of the buildings there, and then next to that, of course, we have to have Starbucks. All right, the mark of any successful multi-use, mixed-use development is going to be Starbucks. So Starbucks is great and open late. I think they close at like 10 o'clock or something, which is insane. But some people work night. Next to that is going to be H&M. So on one side of the street, H&M on the corner. On the other corner, it's going to be Unique Low. So I guess all your fashion needs are covered, right? Between these two, hey, they seem to be doing just fine. Really well, as a matter of fact. So you cross the street from here, there's going to be a lovely place that we will talk about in just a moment. But before we get to this spot, we want to go upstairs because there's some other stuff that's happening upstairs that I think you're going to like as we pass by Summer House here. Summer House they got some treats, believe me. Okay, so this is going to be another one of the buildings. Some lovely artwork that we have on the outside of here. We're just going to bring you up the steps so that you can see what some more of your options are going to be when you are hanging out, eating, drinking, and being merry at Pike Rose. So when you come up here, there's lots of seating, of course. There's lots of parking as well. And there's an ATM machine right here. Nice little area to just sit down, sit a spill. They have a place where you can get some Korean groceries, right? Some teas and different things. You can get some snacks. But more equally, if not more importantly than that, I want to tell you about Owen's Ordinary. Owen's Ordinary, they sell beer. And they have Caruso's in the back. So it's like a split. It's one facility, but they have two two restaurant menus here. Owen's Ordinary is like the bar kind of area, and Caruso's is a bit more on the high end side. Second time I got to bring up a burger, Owen's Ordinary has been known to have quite an impressive burger. And then next to that, you have a place where you can get some sushi along with those groceries that I mentioned before. And you can park right there, so you can just come straight down, hit the elevator. Everything's super convenient for you. Pike and Rose, they've thought of everything. All right, so this is something that is really difficult to find. It's kind of quiet over here. You know, there's lots of people, but it's not super rowdy. Everything is pretty much looked after. Again, I think you can see why this is one of the premier destinations in Montgomery County. I think if you don't want to drive way out to, I'll just say it, if you go past Bethesda Road, this is the hot spot. This is probably where you want to be hanging out in terms of just having everything in roads. We can go up a bit further to the Kentlands, which we'll talk about at another time, and they have a lot of stuff going on. But this one is a tighter feel, not as much walking, but you can get to a lot of things. Okay, so obviously you're encouraged to check them both out, but I'm a big fan of Pike and Rose. Speaking of big fans, I'm a big fan of Summer House. So Summer House started out in California, I believe, but they're over here. And boy, oh boy, when you first walk in, they have these cookies. I don't know why. Probably for this reason right here, so the people like me can talk about it. Cookies are amazing. You can just walk in and buy them and walk out. You don't even have to eat at the restaurant. Across from there's the Gap if you need to do some shopping along with Baby Gap. There was a pizza place right here attached to the Summer House. I'm not quite sure if they're still selling the pizza because I didn't see the sign. Then you have popular eyeglass place Warby Parker. Then there's Call Your Mother. I know how it sounds. Crazy bagels. Okay? It's like a deli, New York style deli. Super good, very popular. Next to that is going to be South Block. You see this right here? You see all that colorful, good for you stuff? South Block, what you need to do is you need to download the app, okay? And start collecting some points and get you a smoothie or an acai bowl from South Block. They didn't pay me to say that, but I did it because I like what they sell. They also have juice. Tasty stuff. Speaking of tasty, Fogo de Chao is next to South Block. Now, are you familiar with Fogo de Chao? Have you ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse before? Red means no, green means go. Listen, if you're hungry and you want to get your money's worth, okay, and you're not a vegetarian, you should stop here. I don't have anything going on tonight. I'm thinking about it. Fogo de Chao, it's not bad for what they offer. Really not bad. And people don't ever talk about it, but they also have a salad bar. Like, I don't think people come to Fogo de Chao for the salad, but they do have a salad bar. And I learned today that they have this all-day happy hour, $5 beers, $6 bites, okay, South American wines and cocktails. Fogo de Chao, they're bringing a lot to the table. I don't have anything bad to say about them. So if you want to have a nice dinner and expand your belt line a little bit, check them out. So across the street here is Pike District. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. But next to or behind, because Fogo de Chao is on the corner, Fogo de Chao is Commonwealth Indian. Seems to be very popular. We haven't had the opportunity to hit them yet. They replaced a French place that was here, and then there's a nail and waxing place, to get stuff done over there to get yourself cleaned up. And then after that is going to be And Pizza. And depending on where you are, you may or may not have or be familiar with And Pizza. So this is going to be a rectangular shaped pizza where you can create your own. You can put all the toppings or almost none of the toppings on your pizza. And in the last 10 to 12 years, And Pizza is absolutely blown up in this area. They have a bunch of locations. The social media team is well known because they're very funny and clever, and they do a lot of specials. And pizza's good to go. So if you're looking for a quick bite, I think the pizzas are now around 10 to 14 bucks. Check them out if you don't mind. Down a few extra calories, you will enjoy it. So across from And Pizza, if you don't have a car, you're welcome to hit this Jaguar Land Rover dealership over here. Okay, get you a Land Rover Defender or a Range Rover, or it looks like a G-Wagon over there. Get you a used G-Wagon. And Steinway and Sons is across the street from there. You can stop in there and I guess pick up a baby grand or a grand piano or whatever kind of pianos they sell over there, and just get everything delivered to your new place in Montgomery County. So there are some things to think about while you are visiting the DC area, thinking about where you're going to live. Speaking of where you're going to live, again, I sell real estate in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I am your local expert on all things DC and Montgomery County. Click the link below to answer a couple of questions for us and let us know where you're thinking about moving and how we can help you. We would love the opportunity to help you transition to the DC area. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, so across the street from Fogo de Chao is going to be a very popular sports bar. This is a hot spot, I gotta tell you. They haven't even been open that long. There was a steakhouse here, Del Monte's or something like that. A while back, they replaced the steakhouse. By the way, if you can believe it, when Pike Rose first opened up, Fogo de Chao was a Nike store. So, that just shows you how things change and progress over time here. But now we have these restaurants, we have the sports bars, all those things. And speaking of restaurants, the Roaming Rooster is here as you walk down this end of Pike and Rose. Look at that monster. That's 2 sandwiches, by the way, stacked on top of each other. So they sell these fried chicken sandwiches, and French fries are not bad. I think if you get something from Roaming Rooster, don't do the Uber Eats. Don't get it like delivered. Sit there and eat it, because it doesn't travel as well as I would like. Then you have Bibimbap, which is an Asian grill. I hope I said that properly. And that it's like that fast casual kind of a bowl kind of a thing. They have a Meatless Monday deal where you can get some stuff to go really quickly. But people seem to like Bibimbap. I haven't really done much there. As you can see, they got some nice colorful looking bowls at that place. So if you're looking for a healthy option, you should check them out. That's more parking to your right. There's parking everywhere here. Like, you can't lose here, okay? It's everything that you need. Now, if you're looking for something to do, you ever heard of an escape room? This is called Escapeology. And they have a little murder mystery mansion thing. They got the Orient Express. They're trying to capitalize on Mayday. They're trying to capitalize on all of the hot movies. And then there's the residences here. So, by the way, there are condominiums. You can live at Pike and Rose. If you want to talk about that, click the link below to hit your moving questionnaire so we can talk about that, and I can tell you how you can transition into living at Pike and Rose. At the very end here is going to be the Forbright. That's a local, not so local, but that's a bank. All right. So, of course, we don't work for them. We're not going to talk about them for too long. Across from there is a former car dealership, which I believe is for sale. And then next to that is what I believe was an old Capital One bank. So these 2 sites, they're currently working on more developments at these 2. I mean, you can see if they raised both of those buildings and went up in the air, they could do a lot with that space right there across the street. So as great as Pike and Rose is now, there's still more to come, if you can believe it. And we'll see the other side of that space in a few minutes. But across the street from there, we have some of what we're going to talk about, which is called the Pike District, where there's some really cool activities and things that go on if you are looking for something that you can't necessarily get or do over at Pike and Rose, because there's a bit more space over there. So there's a nice pathway here. This is all paved. We see people here jogging in the morning. A lot of folks walking the dogs around this area because, again, people do live in the vicinity, right? Oh, speaking of jogging and such, there's a gym, One Life Fitness. So we have a few different types of gyms in the area, and One Life Fitness is going to be among them. So if you want to hit One Life Fitness, then you can have yourself a membership and you can get all your workouts done. And then guess what? You can come out walk to the bottom of the steps, make 2 lefts, and hit South Block. Oh my goodness. Now you can restore all of that lost energy, fill up the glycogen, all that good stuff with a smoothie, juice, all those things. That's Pike District right there. We're going to get to that in just a moment. I just want to make sure that you see a few more things over here at Pike and Rose, because you got to understand why this place is in such high demand. So speaking of demand, obviously we know that sports are always popular. So if you're looking for UFC events, fight nights, they just had that big fight the other night. You see this? On Saturdays, they open until 2 a.m. Monday through Thursday, they open till midnight. This is going to be your destination. Sports and social, Bethesda Sports and Social. So they play all the games here, all of the major championships, all of the big fights, all that stuff is played here. I think some of that stuff obviously is pay-per-view, so you just want to get in here early. Next to that is going to be a clothing place, and there's an office building right there. And then, of course, because we're on the other side of the street, that's where we have the Baby Gap and I guess the Adult Gap. Doesn't say adult, but you know what I'm saying. The Baby Gap and the non-Baby Gap, which is going to be heading to the corner there. And right next to the Gap, one of my favorite locations, City Perch Kitchen and Bar. Goodness gracious. I feel like I shouldn't even tell you this, but I will. The Brussels sprouts. Maybe the best Brussels sprouts in Montgomery County. Okay? Now you know. Theater is up there. And as you just saw, there is the iPick Theaters. So this is one of those theaters. It's a kind of luxury style where you can order food. You can sit at your seat in the movie theater and eat there. Eat and drink. Okay? Hang out. See a movie at home, but better, if you will. Enhanced, because somebody's serving you. You didn't have to do the cooking, right? Somebody made you your drinks. Super cool. Theater, they have lots of live performances here. Okay? That's where you pick up and buy your tickets. And you can go check out their website if you're interested in some of the things that they're doing. There's more parking here. And then there's the elevators. And then this is how you would book the amphitheater if you were interested in that. Okay, so now we're at the Pike District. This is a pop-up park. So this is across the street from Pike and Rose, which we just showed you a moment ago. So Pike District, this is areas that you can do like picnic areas out here. And they are doing lots of events out here throughout the spring and the summer. So you have all of this area for people to kind of hang out. You can throw the blankets down. You can put the yoga mats here. All the things that you want to be able to do outdoors in this area. And, hang out with the kiddies, sit down. They have trash and recycling, so you can, take proper care of the earth. And they have some lights here, some string lights here, so that you can hang out when the evening comes. And for those of you, if you're lucky enough, if you get here early enough, you can go grab these little seats right here that are tucked inside of this little archway and get the VIP seating. So honestly, the Pike District is extremely impressive in its own right. And I encourage you to check it out, maybe visit the website so that you can get a feel for what kind of events and things are happening. Across the street from there, that's going to be the back of the Steinway piano place. And there's more space that they will likely consider doing some development in. As you can see, that's all of the loveliness here. So that one in the middle, that's the canopy with the residential over top of it. Those are other big buildings. Lovely Pike and Rose mural right there. Okay. And then to your left, that's where the former bank is. I mean, this is a really cool facility. And then across the street from here, we have more space. On the other side of here, I didn't mention earlier, is a Marriott Conference Center. But check this out. They have Friday night salsa and Saturdays in the park here. So you can scan a little QR code so that you can know when the events are, what they are, and have a good idea of what's happening while you are planning your weekend, right? So I think there's going to be a few more dates where they're going to do the salsas and the Saturdays in the park, because we're winding down because the end of the year is coming. And outside of all of those events, you just want to check the calendar to see what else they're doing at the pop-up park here that is Pike District. Now, I'm going to cross the street here because I want you to be able to see something real quick. Check this out. So straight up there, right up this street, I'll give you a better angle in a moment. If you look straight up this street, yeah, just right up there. So right over that hill, and you make a quick turn, that's Whole Foods, okay? That's one of the most popular Whole Foods in Montgomery County. I think one of the newest ones. The one in the Kentlands came before this, I believe. And you can get your groceries, you can get everything you need. Again, there's going to be more development over here coming, I think. So this is probably going to look way different 2 or 3 years from now. But this is Pike District across from Pike and Rose, and Whole Foods is around the corner. All the goodies that you want are contained within Pike and Rose. So you can see a show, you can see a movie, you can hang out, you can do everything you need to do. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the link below to start your journey. Let us know how we can help you move into the area. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself.